What's up, guys? It's ProfessorBroman back here in Destiny, and I thought, you know, with all of the feelings and feels that people are having about the weapon changes, I thought, you know, it might be a good idea to have a fireside chat. Only instead of a little fire, we have a gigantic sun that's just burning and making our eyes hurt. Let's not look at that. That was a bad idea. But basically, I don't know. I've been wanting to do a video about the weapon changes for a little while, and if you don't know what's going on, what do you mean weapon changes, blah, 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 blah. Basically, in the Taken King, everything that we have currently in the game that is legendary status will be rendered less powerful by comparison to the new gear that will be showing up on the Dreadnought and in the other locations in the Taken King. Now, we have indeed, you know, it's been confirmed that we're going to have, you know, fantastically joyous time keeping our light level, but, what is to be done about all these old legendaries? Is it worth it to still have legendaries? Blah, I'm angry! So if you're a veteran MMO player, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you you could probably stop watching the video right now. If you've played World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 11 or 14 or literally anything where there was an expansion that came out and then all your old gear turned into a baby fork that could hardly stab shit in the new arenas, this isn't a video for you. But if you are new, if you've not experienced these sort of changes, systemic changes inside of games, let me explain a little bit about how this works. So there's two concepts going on. There's a little bit of power creep, which kind of happens, but more importantly, when they introduced Ascension, we all experienced a problem. We would get this etheric light, we would get our old gear, we'd get new gear, we'd be like, sweet, I got a summon, I don't really want to use that anyway, because it's a summoner, fuck that stupid, I got a dispatch, I don't give a shit, it's an auto rifle, because it's balance. And then you'd get other stuff, like, oh, exiles, I don't care, because if I'm going to use a solar fusion rifle, I'm going to use Praetorian foil if I have that. You know, if I'm going to use a shotgun, I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use my, you know, Felwinter's Light. There's all of this stuff that we got in the game, and especially pieces of equipment that came out of the Prison of Elders that no one cared about, because what's the point of using gear if you already have something better? So there's kind of a couple explanations we could talk about, a couple of things we could think through. One is that Bungie just designed some really kick-ass weapons for the Vaults of Glass, and they were so good that what's the fucking point? That's kind of where we're at. That's a good starting point. It's a nice good starting point. Because that's the truth. The eye level or item level of all the stuff that came out of the Vaults of Glass was insanely high. Like, the Fatebringer is easily one of the strongest hand cannons in the game just because of its perks, let alone the fact that it also has some arc burn on it. But a lot of other weapons in the game are like that as well. It's why you kind of see the same sort of pieces of equipment existing in every single encounter of the game. You're going to be using a Fatebringer, you're going to be using either some kind of shotgun or sniper, you know, an icebreaker, or a black hammer. Because what's the point of using anything else in PvE if you're going to snipe, unless it's the icebreaker? Unless it's a black hammer. And when you go to heavies, you're going to be using the Yallarhorn. Now, the Yallarhorn, all the exotic stuff, it's taking the journey with us. You're going to be able to use your Thorn in the Taken King and ascend it to the new damage levels and the Hard Light and Hawkmoon and Last Word and Yallarhorn and Truth and all that stuff. All that stuff is viable in the future. But all of our armor and gear is going to get outclassed. So I kind of want to think about it that way as opposed to getting removed. Because all of your gear is going to exist. You're going to need it to start the Taken King. You're going to need to have your equipment on. You're going to need your legendaries that you've worked so hard for. But they're quickly going to become outclassed by the new gear that's showing up. Now, that could be frustrating if Bungie hadn't already announced multiple times that the gear that they're introducing into the game is now going to be the biggest introduction of new gear in the game to date. More weapons than you could ever have gotten before. I think, all in all, it's a good change. Sometimes you need to press the reset button in order to reignite the flame of exploration or joy that you can get when you grab fucking sweet new gear that you actually want to get. Every hand cannon I got since the Vault of Glass, I was like, not a Fatebringer, not a Fatebringer, don't care, not a Fatebringer. After I got the Black Hammer, I was like, fuck using any other secondary in PvE, this is ridiculous. So to me, it's nice to move away from the convention of, you know, these are the 1 or 2 most powerful weapons, and I'm looking forward to seeing Bungie try to solve the problem that they've put in front of themselves, which is, we want everything to be relevant and we want everything to be a good choice. If you're bothered by the weapon changes, I totally understand. But realize that that's going to be part of the way Destiny works in the future. When we get weapons, we could probably expect to hang on to them for a full year until the next update. And then, you know, have to go grab some new gear. But it's not all bad. It means that every couple of years, or every year, we get a chance to explore new areas with new gear and have fantastic new experiences and grow to love a whole new set of gear that isn't the stuff that we've been using since, you know, the first day. That's my thoughts on it, guys. I understand and fully accept that some of you are still going to be angered about it and it's going to bother you, and I understand. I hope that you don't let a little bit of MMO convention prevent you from enjoying a game that you already currently love. If you didn't care about it, it wouldn't make you so upset. We only tend to get really angry about things we care about. If you didn't care about Destiny, none of this shit would matter. You wouldn't even be watching this video. But that's just the way it is, guys. The change is coming, and I think it's good. I think it's great that we're all going to have new legendaries to find, and new adventures to be had with new gear for us to seek and find and be excited about. And while I was maybe personally hoping for Bungie to find a better or more elegant solution to this, they didn't. But it's because it's a very difficult problem to solve. And it's not to say that it perhaps might not get solved in the future. But for now, we're hitting the reset button. And we're going to move forward. And it's going to be a fucking blast. Thanks for watching today, guys. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget that I love each and every one of you. And I'll catch you next time in Destiny.